All right, so let's start by introducing yourself.
So my name's Carter Straub. I am a mountain biker from Pennsylvania, and I love creating content and racing mountain bikes.
So Carter, now that we got to know you a little bit, how'd you start mountain biking?
So I actually started mountain biking during COVID. We were all forced to stay at home, couldn't really have contact with other people, so I had to find things to stay active. I was an athlete, and running wasn't really doing it for me. I got kind of bored after a while, so I started biking. I lived in a really rural community, so the roads nearby were not very traveled, so I started riding those, but got bored quickly. So I found a rail trail actually right next to my house and started doing 10 to 20 miles per day. Really liked it, but I wanted to keep progressing and going forward. And one day I actually found this section right off the rail trail, and it had a few jumps, some steep sections, and I had to try it. And I instantly fell in love with it. So I went home and started researching more places like this. And that's when I discovered the world of mountain biking.
So why did you start filming?
So I actually started filming scuba diving. I got certified over COVID, wanted more activities to do, and it was on my bucket list. So when I got certified, I did my first dive in Hawaii actually, and I wanted to document that experience. So I got a GoPro and filmed it all, and it was awesome. Loved it, and I actually posted it to YouTube. I mainly had it there just so I had it for myself when I wanted to, show others or look at it myself. It was in a central place. But once it got some views, I then posted it to Instagram, and that's where it really took off. I think the first video got 30,000 views, and I just remember looking at my phone and all the notifications, over 1,000 likes, and it really surprised me. Next video did about 12,000. Next one after that, 17,000. And that's where I really saw an opportunity for filming. So back to biking, it was one of my other hobbies that I really love to do. And I said, well, why not strap a GoPro on and just film it? And that's how I started filming.
What would you say is the hardest part about filming?
So I think for me personally, it's doing it by myself. You have to get really creative in the way you film when you're doing it by yourself, whether it's using a tripod, setting that up and then getting the shot, or when I'm using a drone, I'm able to use the follow me feature on it. But it's hard without a cameraman. I'm a one-man show here, and it can be really hard because you see all these really cool edits and videos and you want to recreate that a little bit and get those type of shots, but it's really hard doing it by yourself. So that's the hardest part for me.
So what have some of the learning curves been, both with biking and social media?
So for biking, I'd say it's been really hard being an athlete and then also progressing with mountain biking. Being a college athlete, that's my main priority. But I really love mountain biking as well, and I want to get better, do cool things, do all the really cool tricks. But I have to limit myself. I really, prioritize lacrosse, and I don't want to get hurt due to an outside activity. But I still want to have fun. So it's finding that balance of progressing slowly and building up that confidence, but also doing it in a safe way. And as far as social media, it's definitely been a large learning curve for me, whether it's what people like, posting at certain times, dealing with all the comments, whether it's negative, positive, just going through that kind of roller coaster. But yeah, it's been great overall. I've been learning a lot, and want to keep going with it.
So how exactly did you get into racing?
So mountain biking for me has always been a fun activity, and it's been my outlet for, relaxation, getting away from the craziness in life. But I've always been an athlete. I've always been competitive. So I wanted to tie those two together and just see how it went. And over the summer, I did my first cross country race. And it was eye-opening for sure. Took a couple spills. I remember I was coming off this one hill, off a route, and then tire just didn't catch and slid out under me. It went over the handlebars. I remember it like it was yesterday, but it was a great experience overall. I really learned a lot from it, and I continued to race cross country. But that's really how I started. And I always had a goal of getting sponsored as well, and I think racing was my first step to getting sponsors.
So I know you talked about a lot earlier about how mountain biking was primarily a way for you to relax. With all of this business stuff taking up more of your time out there, do you still feel that relaxation?
I would say yes and no. It really depends on my mindset. I know I have to go out there and film, and that's a priority of mine. And it can be fun. I love doing videography and stuff like that, but it's not super relaxing. In order for me to really get that outlet and relax, I just have to leave the camera at home, have that mindset of it's just going to be me, the bike, and I'm just going to go out and ride.
So what would you say your future goals for mountain biking are?
So for right now, I really want to progress on my skills. I want to be able to hit bigger features, jump more, do more tricks. I just really want to progress on all of those and just get better at the sport. I also want to transition into enduro racing. I currently do cross country, which it keeps me in shape, but it's not super fun. I think I'm better suited for enduro, and it's definitely more fun going down hills and doing that type of racing. And then next, I want to gather more sponsors and hopefully, have them support me along this journey that I'm on. And then lastly, grow my social medias as much as I can. These are really my goals right now, and we'll see what the future holds.
Do you have any advice for someone that's looking to get into the sport?
Yeah, so I'd say just get out and ride. Whatever you have, just use. Don't worry about getting a crazy, expensive bike right away. Just find what you can, just go out and ride and see how it makes you feel. And if you fall in love with it like I did, you can progress from there and, keep going.
Is there anything that you regret at all so far along this journey?
Not at all. I mean, it's been a learning curve for sure. I've had my ups, I've had my downs, but it's all a part of the journey. And most importantly, I found my outlet. I found my activity that helps me relax and just disconnect. And I encourage you all to find that activity or thing that you love to do to disconnect yourself, because we all need that in life. We need an outlet that, gets us away from all that craziness that we can experience. And I encourage you all to start that journey, and you never know where it'll take you.